First of all, I'd like to thank the Golf Association of Philadelphia. I'd like to also thank all the winners this evening. Quite a distinguished group of younger and older players. The GAP staff, they do a tremendous job every year. The golf executive, the GAP executive committee, and certainly the volunteers, which are always there when we need them to kind of find some of our wayward shots. If someone had told me back on the 4th of July that I'd be standing here in front of all of you to receive this honor, I would say they were dreaming or crazy. I really got off to a poor start this year, and it started with the Warner Cup, the first major, and I didn't play very well at all. And it was kind of funny because I received a text the day after the event from a good friend of many of us in this room who relocated to Pinehurst about 5, 6, 8 years ago, Andy Karff. And Andy is a regular subscriber to GAP News, to everything that's going on. He knows more about...
He does a great job.
He does. He's a tremendous guy, and I've become quite friendly with him over the years. And he texted me the day after the Warner Cup, and he said, Don, he said, I noticed you didn't play in the Warner Cup. Are you okay? You know, did you hurt yourself? You know, are you feeling okay? And I texted him back and I said, well, Andy, I did play in the Warner Cup. Unfortunately, you didn't scroll down far enough in the list of players to see where I had finished. And then he wrote back to me and he said, oh, okay, thanks for telling me, because when I got to someone who shot 76, I just stopped looking. So, you know, it was kind of cute, but that's the kind of guy Andy is. It didn't continue much better after that. The next senior major was the Chapman. I didn't do very well there either. I think I came in 16th. I was like 35th in the Warner Cup. And I was off to a pretty poor start. So in a way, I sort of felt that I was, you know, writing the season off, and I was just going to try to do the best I could for the rest of the year. But then I had a nice win at the Brewer, which is always a wonderful event and a hard tournament to win. And maybe that got me thinking that, well, you know, maybe something will click. Maybe I'll start to get it going again. And you know, I just don't want to, you know, let the season go by without giving it my best shot, even though I didn't have any aspirations, you know, of winning enough points to be Player of the Year again. Then it was off to Wales and to play in the British Senior Amateur, which was a real thrill for me. It was the first time I had played links golf. It was a little difficult for me to get used to the firm and hard conditions over there, fast conditions over there. And believe me, those pop bunkers are nasty, and I found myself in more than a few. And you know, Chip can tell you, he did, by the way, you know, extremely well over there. He represented the GAP in the United States, you know, the highest standards. But anyway, we had decent weather, but there's always wind, and I really didn't play well in the first round. I think I shot like 9 over. I shot like 81. And I remember I emailed my wife, who didn't come with me, and I said, listen, I'm not going to make the cut. There was 144 players, and they took the top 60 in ties to advance to the final round. I said, listen, I'm not going to make the cut, so can you find another flight for me to head home a day early? And she wrote back, she said, yeah, I found a flight for you, but it's going to cost you another $1,200, so why don't you just stay? And I said, okay, I'll stay. And I figured, okay, well, maybe the best I can do is I'll follow Chip around and I'll root for him. And the second round started, and Chip will tell you the first 3 holes are right against the Atlantic Ocean, I think, and the wind was blowing in. I didn't get off to a good start. I made bogey, double bogey on my first 2 holes. And I walked to the 3rd tee with my head down, and I was ready to walk to the carport and, slam the trunk and get out of there. And my caddy, who was a young boy from the village of Porthcawl, where the event was, his name was Tommy Morrison. I'll never forget him. He came up to me and he looked me right in the face, just like this. And he said to me, he said, Don, I don't want to kick you in the arse, but you're better than this, so let's get going. And he turned around and he walked away from me. And it was something that inspired me with that comment. And from that point on, I made 6 birdies, shot 72, made the cut by 2 shots, and I was on my way to the final round. And I had gone from 105th to 45th, and it was just an inspirational moment for me. When I returned, I finished off the season in pretty good form. I got things going again, and I remembered that from a guy who we all, maybe some of us know, Jim Valvano, many years ago, made a speech, and the quotes that I remember from him were, don't give up, don't ever give up. And I use that to sort of inspire me to continue on, and I ended up doing a nice job towards the end of the year and came down to the Tournament of Champions. I was fortunate enough to win, and I just nudged out Robin for Player of the Year. And I want to tell you, I mean, Robin McCool is not only a good friend of mine, but he's a great competitor, a fierce competitor, and someone I hope to do battle with many, many times. So all I can say, and the message I want to leave with all of you tonight is, not only, you know, you're going to have a bad round every so often, and you're going to have a tough season every so often, and hopefully there's a little Tommy Morrison in your head that'll say to you, don't give up, don't ever give up. Thank you very much.